Disclaimer. This is a topic that goes way deeper in the depth I'm diving into in this video. This video is not a breakdown of Chicago gang politics. In this video, my plan is to take an overall look at Rell Vert's life and legacy, commenting on what I feel could have led him into getting involved in street politics, and explaining how I feel Vert was the first to dip his toe into drill in the Bloodhound crew, and he is the pioneer for what happened with the Bloodhound wave. Thanks. Hope you enjoy. Rell Vert, formerly known as Bloodhound Vert, or just Vert, is an upcoming Chicago drill artist who arguably pushed the members of his set to begin rapping, and through that push, his crew would become the new faces of Chicago drill wave. This is the story of how Rell Vert sparked the Bloodhound music movement. Growing up on the East 79th and South Maryland Ave areas of Chicago, a young Vert would be exposed to the gang lifestyle and criminal activity at a fairly young age. Not at all helped by the fact that his father would end up being arrested and sat down in jail for 5 years when he was a child, leaving his mother to care for him and his 7 siblings. When asked about his living situation when he was a child, he said he moved back and forth often. Now this is just me assuming off how that sounds, but I feel like his parents weren't together at the time of him being raised, as there would be no other reason for him going back and forth besides behavioral shit or maybe financial shit. Similar to his close friends, Lil Jeff and Q50, Vert seemingly had hoop dreams wanting to make it big in the sport as a kid. Though, unlike Jeff, it seemed like Vert was drawn to criminal element way earlier in his high school career, leading him to be one of the first in the friend group to back off the hoop dreams and jump off the porch. That being said, it's unclear whether Vert took basketball as seriously as Lil Jeff and Q50, so he could have for real just been doing it to do it. Unlike Lil Jeff and Q50, who only jumped off the porch towards the end of their high school career, Vert would go on to jump off the porch at the early age of 13, off the influence of his older cousins. Originally, Vert started off stealing bikes, smoking weed, and doing regular teenage hoodlum shit. This thievery would only get worse as time went on. Eventually, Vert and his friends would begin to stick people up, finesse motherfuckers out their jewelry and their money. Most notably though, being a bunch of stolen watches, but that'll come up later. I feel as if I should also mention that one of Vert's blood cousins happens to be FBG Duck, the Tukaville legend himself. Vert currently disses Duck and them off of weird gang politics that come off the back of him being cool with Screwy G, but I still find it interesting that his family has so many drill stars in it. Well, interesting and tragic. Back when he was first jumping off the porch, the gang landscape of Chicago was way different than it is today. For example, the block that Rell Vert claims is Bloodhound. That's an alliance between the Drill City set and the MTV set. Now originally, Drill City was cool with another crew that goes by Trap City, and by extension, the rest of the Bloodhounds were cool with them as well. I say used to because Vert was known to hang out with the few Trap City members, namely Trap City Taro. Rumor has it that someone from Trap City went on to either rob Vert or someone else from Bloodhound, or Bloodhound robbed them depending on who you ask, causing a giant falling out between Drill City and Trap City, which in turn made hella people begin to pick sides, and it devolved into chaos. Vert hanging with Trap City goons has come back to bite him on multiple occasions, as when you befriend someone, you let them into your life and they see who you really are and what you really be doing. This is why having friends turn op is the worst scenario imaginable. As soon as shit started to heat up between Drill City and Trap City began to leak phone calls of Vert trying to cop pleas, and basically they just started saying petty shit about him to blemish his image, causing a whole string of tit-for-tat robbings and killings. I'm no trap geek or trap lord Ross, so I'm not going to go into the specific bodies or robberies. I will, however, go into his music. Before we start with the music, however, let's start with how Rell Vert got his stage name in the first place. Apparently, a close friend of his named Ruga was the first person to call Vert Vert, and seeing that Ruga would end up getting shot and killed, Vert felt as if he should keep that name in honor of his fallen friend. At least, that's what I got from the DJU interview. That motherfucker was so high I couldn't tell what he was saying. The first song that Vert would go on to drop, that I've seen at least, is the remix to the song Pissed Me Off, released November 3rd, 2021. At this time, Vert was one of the first and only current Bloodhound members who dipped their toe into drill music, and this song, being partly a tribute to his fallen friend Ruga, helped it find its footing fan-wise, as many people liked the raw nature of his rapping. is currently sitting at around 16,000 views. Because Vert started out the gate dissing rivals, it wouldn't be long till Vert started to gain the attention that he was looking for in the music scene. This added on top of Vert pushing Lil Jeff, Big Op, Scoom, and Q50 to rap, would inadvertently create the biggest wave in Chicago drill since King Von, with songs like Stretched, Rack to LA, and Go all reaching above 900,000 views, with Vert's average views being around 200,000 views. Rell Vert would end up being overshadowed by the others in his crew, as Bloodhound, Lil Jeff, Scoom, and Q50 tended to be way more ignorant acting online, which drove engagement on all their music and interviews. Not to say Vert's music isn't good, as I find his and Scoom's music to be the best out of their crew. It's just Vert is usually way too drugged up in interviews and doesn't show the amount of same charisma as Jeff or Q50 does. Speaking of the drug use, while all Bloodhound members struggle with their drug use, I feel Vert is the worst by far. Watching the No Jumper and DJU interviews with Vert is ultra depressing. I've never seen another artist this completely strung out on camera. And I'm saying this as an avid Skrilla fan. That motherfucker don't even be as half as zooted as Vert is in all these videos. And on one hand, he's obviously hurting as many of his close friends lost their lives behind the shit they partake in. But that excuse only goes so far, in my opinion. There is getting high to escape your issues, then there is getting so high that you're not able to speak, nodding off during interviews. Shit is not a good look. He don't even think there's an issue, so it's whatever, I guess. He's just gonna keep numbing until he loses all sensation and loses his fucking mind, apparently. While I am critical of his junky ass attitude, you can't take away that music is his fucking passion. However violent and mired with tragedy, his music is extremely good in my opinion. If you ain't checked him out, and you're a fan of the other Bloodhound members, I feel his discography is well worth checking out. Death in the Air and Jeffrey being my current go-to songs. Here's hoping Vert can find other ways that aren't drugs to cope with all this loss and pain, though, with the way shit is playing out, that might just be a pipe dream. Here's hoping though. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe with the bell to be notified of all my future uploads. Of course, if I missed anything or get anything wrong, do let me know in the comments, as well as recommending other people y'all are trying to see. I can't speak English. Next video is either going to be a video on Scoom, or a redo of my old not good Skrilla video. With all that being said though, peace out, chill out.
For the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
They're doing their part.